Hi guys, sorry for my lecture video being late. Had some things pop up yesterday, but let's go ahead and dive into talk about our readings and lecture videos. So for reading chapters 3 and 4, I kind of was more leaning towards chapter 3, which is, I believe it's pronounced I have it in my notes here, the Cappadocians, I believe it's pronounced, but I basically have my quote and kind of what that quote means to me in like kind of my language, and then how it kind of connects like both the Cappadocians and Augustine kind of compare, and then like what they were both trying to do. So the quote that I have here is, let's see, what do I have? I wrote a couple of them, but basically what stood out to me was the church articulation of the full divinity of Jesus Christ developed in response to, I think it's pronounced Arianism, with Athanasius and the Council of Nicaea, I believe that's how you pronounce that, and affirming that Christ is of the same substance, which has a specific word. I think it's homoousios, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, and as God the Father and thus fully divine. And so when I was kind of just reading both of those chapters, actually before I get into that, I want to just point out what that quote means to me in my words, and I kind of just wrote it down because I kind of just word dump. But basically, a group called the Iranians was going around saying Jesus was a created being, like kind of like a superpower sidekick, I guess, and but not actual God. So the church held a massive meeting, which is the Council of Nicaea, I think you pronounce that, and basically said that Jesus is 100% made of the exact same divine, and also as God the Father. He's not lesser, he's just like fully God. It's kind of how I saw that. So basically, between the Cappadocians and the Augustine, kind of just comparing them both, they were basically just trying to solve the same puzzle. Okay, so what I meant by that is, I wrote what it means to me is that both Augustine and the Cappadocians were trying to solve the exact same lectural puzzle. So basically, how to prove that Jesus is fully God without making it look like how like Christians were worshiping multiple gods. It's kind of like how I saw that. But yeah, that's just how my word of thought for this week's lecture.